Jai Shri Krishna. So today is Wednesday and moon is in Cancer in Pushya Nakshatra and in conjunct with Jupiter, Venus as well as Mercury who is sitting in Gemini. And moon has just come out of the Amavasya Tithi, right? So it's like a waxing moon. So yes, today I'm going to be talk about moon in Pushya Nakshatra. Yeah, moon in Pushya Nakshatra. This is going to be part 2. So if you are a person who is born at the time when your moon is in Cancer in Pushya Nakshatra, which means moon will be in Cancer anywhere from 3 degree 20 minutes, right, to all the way till 16 degree 40 minutes. Yeah, that means this is your video. But of course, do watch video number 1 of moon in Pushya before you come to moon in part 1, before you come to part 2, as this is part 2. Before we start the thrills and frills, I always speak about is do like the video if you really like it, and do press the bell button, notification button as well. Kindly share with your friends and families who would be like-minded to know about their nakshatras, etc. As I've published almost a series of 2 rounds of all the nakshatras, some of them are pending, which will be done as we speak. Tomorrow is Ashalesha, so definitely Ashalesha part 2 will come. Yeah, okay. That is one. Second is, do share your comments in the comment section. I know many of you have shared, so I really appreciate that as well. So thank you for that. And your feedback will help myself and everybody as well. Yeah. I know many of you asked about my social media handles and all. I don't have any social media. So I'm only in 2 places. One place is in Clubhouse. And I've recently started publishing videos on YouTube. Clubhouse, I believe I started in 2020. So it's close to 6 years of teaching. I've been teaching in Clubhouse and I've been teaching offline classes as well for people in Zoom. Yeah. Okay. And I've done also masterclass sessions. All right. The last one is today is Wednesday. So today again, 7:20, as we speak, 7:20 p.m. Central Time. In a few hours from now, I'll be doing a live session in Clubhouse about business Karaka combinations. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now on top of it, yeah, you have to download the app called the Clubhouse app and enroll yourself in Vedic Astrology Club. Okay. So the app is free, the club is free, the class is free, everything is free. If you are interested in Vedic astrology, yeah, if you have a passion, if you want to learn, there is close to 4+ years of recordings in Clubhouse as well. Yeah. So the ball is in your court. All right. Pushya Nakshatra. Moon in Pushya specifically. Don't bring other planets or anything else. Yeah. This is a moon owned Rashi. Yeah. Moon owned Rashi, Saturn Nakshatra. Okay. Moon and Saturn meets in 2 places. Okay. One place is Pushya, where moon is the Rashi lord, Saturn is the Nakshatra lord. Okay. Another place is Shravana Nakshatra, where moon is the Nakshatra lord, Saturn is the Rashi lord. These are the 2 places moon and Saturn meets in the entire zodiac. Okay. All right. You need to know this. Moon and Saturn energies are opposite. Okay. Moon, fast moving planet, fastest, Saturn is slowest moving planet. Moon is a great benefic, right? But has the waxing waning thing. Saturn is 100% malefic. Okay. Moon is the closest planet you can see, from where you are. Saturn is the farthest planet. Saturn is the darkest planet also and dull. Saturn is also cold, and Amavasya moon can be extremely cold. Wherever Saturn sits, Saturn gives darkness. Wherever moon sits is the Rashi. So moon, wherever it sits, it's welcoming in a way. It's your Rashi as well. Yeah, okay. Now, let's break it down. Again, watch part 1 before you come to part 2. So here, the Rashi Lord is moon, the Nakshatra Lord is Saturn, and Jupiter is exalted here. The Vedic deity itself is Brihaspati, so we have to touch a lot about Brihaspati for this nakshatra. It is a full nakshatra, which means it's not a broken nakshatra. Okay, Saturn nakshatras are not broken. Saturn nakshatras are divine. Okay, all right. Next is So that is a moon and Saturn combination. See, whenever moon and Saturn um, conjuncts together, right? It's called like a wish yoga in Vedic astrology. Wish yoga people, you should never take impulsive decisions. You should never take overnight decisions. There will always be something with your leg, feet, those kind of things, etc. So you have to be careful. Okay, wish yoga. Which means also for people who have this moon in Pushya or moon and Saturn conjunction, right? Or even moon and Saturn aspecting each other, you have to be careful about choosing your education. If you choose your education in a spur of a moment or being impulsive for whatever reason, you will have education break, and then you will study differently and your career will be different. So education to career change will happen. Same thing you will see from work to business, business to work, etc. Okay. All right. Year 2007 would have been difficult. So again, if that is the case, do clarify that the same as well. Year 2007. 2007 would have been very difficult for you guys with Moon and Pushya. All right. And even I would say somewhere end of 2024, middle to end of 2024 to mid part of 2025 would have also been difficult. If that is the case, please clarify that also in the video, because I'm going back just recently rather than 2007. You have to remember that. Yeah. Okay. So mid part of 2024 to mid part of 2025 to later part of 2025 would have been difficult. So please clarify that also. Okay. Again, this is an excellent nakshatra. Okay. It's a very divine nakshatra, even though there is a little bit of tamasic nature to it. And because it's coming from Saturn energy. Yeah. All right. It's a very fast moving nakshatra, but people may not see that in a way because a lot of things move fast. It's all relative. Okay. So let's keep that aside. So here, Jupiter exalts at Pushya Nakshatra, 5 degrees in Cancer, the first pada, it exalts. And the Navamsha, it will go to Leo, right? Malefic Navamsha. Typically, all the Team A planets will go to a malefic Navamsha. Okay, that only the Team B planets will go to a benefic Navamsha. This is very important to note between Team A and Team B. Okay, see my videos on Vibgyor, you will understand a little bit more of it. All right, next is see also my video on Jupiter and Venus, great benefics. 2 Venus videos I have published, and see even Jupiter great benefic, you'll understand a lot. Lord Brihaspati, right, who is actually the grandson of Brahma, because Brihaspati, Brahma, Angiras Brihaspati. Okay, he's a great benefic, he's a teacher of the gods. Okay, Brihaspati as Guru, right, is a teacher. He represents more than a teacher, intellectual, right, eloquence, speech. He's the karka for speech, gains, knowledge. Gains can be knowledge, money, anything, and mantras, chanting hymns, right? He himself is seen as sitting in a lotus flower. Who sits in a lotus flower? Typically Lakshmi. But Brihaspati himself is seen as sitting in a lotus flower. So you see again the connection between Brihaspati and Lakshmi as Shukra indirectly. Right? Again you see how Brihaspati himself sits in a lotus flower. Right? And the lotus flower is to show that he's sitting to rise above the whole world, the physical world. It is beyond your thinking, like name, fame, health, or name, fame, wealth, material gains, any of those things, money. Okay, so the Jupiter-Venus relationship is a very interesting relationship. I've published videos on that, so watch that as well. Okay, now this nakshatra Pushya is associated with cow's udder. Okay, it is nothing but in a way the milking process, the milk extraction process. All right, and if you see whenever cow and milk comes, Lord Krishna will also come, right? So but in the fact is, right, think about this, that people with Moon and Pushya can also be in the dairy milk business, anything with milk, anything with goshala, anything with cows, right? But because a cow udder is kind of connected to the stomach, right, People with moon in Pushya will always have stomach issues. Something to note for, that will be a weak point in your body. All right. Now, Lord Krishna, right, because I mentioned Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right, that I'm Brihaspati. The verse is around 10 and 10-24 in Bhagavad Gita. Okay. And he says that in a way that, Brihaspati because he's a high priest and he's the spiritual master as a guru, especially of the devas, like the demigods, right? By aligning with Brihaspati, he says that Krishna says, I am the supreme source of wisdom, ritual perfection, okay, spiritual guidance, mentor, teacher, right, guide. So that is the energy of Brihaspati, and that is why you also say it in Pushya Nakshatra. Okay. I also mentioned in part 1 about Kamadhenu, Vashishta Vishwamitra story about the cow. Food was the issue at the time because of scarcity, and Kausika king became eventually Vishwamitra, right? And Indra comes also here to attack. With sending all the people, he first sends Varuna, Agni, and Vayu. They all fail. Then he sends Tilotama, then Menaka. With Menaka, he has a child, right? He has a child, Vishwamitra, and that is Bharat, from whom India itself is named Bharat. Okay. And in a way, Durvasa also plays a very big part here with Indra. I'm not going to go to that story again. When I do Vishwamitra story, etc., at some point, I will cover that. Yeah, but the point is that energy of Vishwamitra Vashishta is also here every time you see a cow or a cow sada. Okay. Brihaspati. Brihaspati's key job is to guide the Indra, all the devas, right? All of them, and manage the Devaloka as a minister. Okay, manage the Devaloka to make sure the Devaloka is protected, right? Even in a Devaloka procession, right, he will be the last one to come. Usually, if you see, right, all the powerful people, the king, they'll be the first one to come and show. Brihaspati will be the last in the procession. You will see Indra coming first in his Airavata. You will see all the other, Varuna, Agni, Vayu, Soma, right? Everybody coming, right? All of them. Then the Apsaras, the Gandharvas, right? All of them will come. Okay? You have Ramba, Urvasi, Menaka, Tilotama, etc. But before Jupiter comes, the story goes that light will come, radiant light energy. Okay, radiant light energy, some kind of glowy energy will come before. Think about this way. Before thunder comes, we see lightning. Then only we hear the noise, right? Same thing before Brihaspati comes, you will see the light. Okay, you will see the light. So that is how, and in a way, it is also that one has to go to Devaloka to see Brihaspati. He won't come to you. That is that energy. But Shukra is different. All right. Okay. So again, right, Moon and Pushya, they're very quick in grasping things and understanding things. Strategy, teacher, mentor, right? They can be a teacher, good teacher, mentor, guide, anything with consultation, anything working on economic policies, anything working on healing, medicine, right? Anything on public administration, law and order, right? Philosophy, just not for a company, it can be for the country or for the government itself, right? Framing the country's laws of governance and constitutions, right? Think about in the US, California is the number one for it. So it'll all be somebody who's having a Pushya moon in a way, okay? Right, this is where they can all excel. All right, some additional details now connected in a more than a professional, personal front. Marriage, right? I've said in part 1, the Panchang says typically moon in Pushya is an excellent mode for doing everything. The priest in India also, I have seen, they are doing marriage in Pushya Nakshatra. You should not do marriage in Pushya Nakshatra. So whenever is a moon in Pushya, as we speak right now, the marriage should never be done. Okay, that is the first thing I've shared. But I'm going to share a little bit more information today. Okay, marriage. Usually people with moon in Pushya Nakshatra, right, they will have issues with the first marriage, or think in a way first relationship or a first love relationship. Always it will happen. Okay, with moon and Pushya. Typically, if you're very vocal to say about it, you can share that in the comment section. I leave it up to you. Okay, why? Why is the question? Guru Brihaspati, who gets exalted in the nakshatra here, is also the deity. Okay, the Vedic deity. And Brihaspati, right, if you see, was married to Tara. And once they had, and he had also taken an oath to protect the Devaloka and protect the Devas closely. So he was really focused more on protecting them rather than taking care of Tara. Okay, there was, plus Brihaspati also had a karma because of another issue with Mamta, and Dirghadamas was born, which I will speak in another video, not here. But end of the day, he was focused more in protecting the Devas, right? So the work, he was focused really more in work, and he's taken an oath to protect them. There was a competition between who was going to be the Devaguru, whether Brihaspati or Shukracharya. With a lot of struggle and with a lot of support, right, from Indra and Angiras Rishi and Varuna, etc., he became the Devaguru. Okay, so he had to actually commit to it. It is a big commitment. Okay, so because of the whole process, right, he had taken an oath and his work-life balance suffered in a way. So at that same time, Soma, Chandra had come to learn the Vedas, right, the Vedas. And if you see at the time, right, at the time, Soma had come to learn the Vedas, the Puranas and everything from Brihaspati. So now what happened is Tara got attracted to Soma. And eventually Tara eloped away with Soma. This is what happened. And in the whole process, she also got pregnant. And eventually, Brahma had to come to stop a big war between Brihaspati and Soma, where Shukra joined Soma's side. And the war was stopped, and eventually Tara was called to say who is the father of the unborn child. And eventually she gave the answer as Soma. And the unborn child was Buddha, Mercury. And today is also Wednesday. So eventually, right, eventually the patch up happens and Brihaspati accepts his karma, right, in a very good way. And he also forgives Tara, right? And focus, but his focus has always been helping in the Indra and the Devas and protecting the Devaloka. So the point is, this is the story, right? This is the story. So if you understand the details of this, Moon in Pushya Nakshatra people, they'll always have a scar on their love relationship, right? Or even the first marriage. So you want to be very careful about it. Yeah, you want to be very careful. You may not end up marrying the person who you wanted to marry. That is also the case. That will also happen, right? And either way, right, there will always be some kind of argument issues with your spouse, right? Even though Brihaspati has forgiven it, that is because of the difference in thoughts and wavelength. Okay, Tara is more materialistic, Brihaspati is more spiritualistic. This is where the challenge is. It's a difference of opinion. Okay, all right. So this is the one important thing. Next, Kacha. Brihaspati had a son named Kacha, from which there is no lineage. See my video on the great benefica and also Jupiter and Venus also. And why I have mentioned Jupiter-Venus conjunction will only give you a girl child. Watch that, you will understand a little bit more. So Kacha is the son. Kacha himself went away from Jupiter to the Shukra camp to learn the Sanjeevani mantra. So in a way, there will be one of your child who will go to a boarding school, move to a foreign country, stay away from you, right? May not be in good relation with you also. That also will happen. It can be one child. Yeah, you have to remember this also, especially with Moon and Pushya. Okay, because of Kacha story again. Now, do remember Jupiter, the deity here. He is not the Nakshatra Lord. The Nakshatra Lord is Saturn. Okay, the Rashi Lord is Moon. Jupiter is the deity and he gets exalted here. He is the pinnacle of knowledge and wisdom. Okay, pinnacle of knowledge and wisdom. And it's important to break down Jupiter, Moon, and Mercury, the connection, and Kacha. Jupiter, no pinnacle of knowledge and wisdom. Moon is the mind. Okay, Moon is the mind. Moon is also, that is one of the reason all souls are born the same in Hinduism, except the moon is where the mind is different, right? And Moon was the only one who was able to get the curse removed in a way, even though there is waxing and waning, but that's different. The curse was removed. From 100% he became 0, right? And the duality came, right? The balance came between Daksha's as curse as well as Shiva's boon. So that is the mind. Third, Mercury is the intellect part. It's Moon's child rather than Brihaspati's child. Yeah, because Tara clearly said it's Moon's child. And fourth is Kacha, who is a great disciple who follow ethics and standards. So you understand all of this, you will know. Okay, and Tara. The fifth one is Tara, who is a person who is more needs love, little bit materialistic, leads love, little bit materialistic. Yeah, that is the difference. Okay, but Jupiter is highly spiritualistic, highly focused at work, highly focused in his core objectives, which is beyond, which is wisdom and knowledge beyond materialistic gains. Okay, now the Moon in Pushya people, the biggest shortcoming or the biggest learning, okay, is to learn, right, or know or learn or both of how to balance the work, right, and home. So it's like a work-life balance, right? If you don't do that, that will be the biggest issue and the biggest downfall. Moon in Pushya. Okay, biggest issue, biggest downfall. Remember this. Okay, again I said in part 1 video, right, think of Lord Krishna, pray to Lord Krishna, and give a female cow and calf on Pushya Nakshatra day when Moon is in Pushya with strength. The best time is when Sun is now in, Sun will come to Capricorn, right? Or even Sun comes to Libra is also okay, even more than Capricorn. Moon is in Cancer and Pushya. Do this donation. Your karma with the cow and everything will change. Your whole life will change. Okay, this is very important. Because Pushya Nakshatra people are like motherly people, divine people, the Jupiter energy, right? Anything with dairy products, home products, cooking products, right? Food products, right? Anything with other than the administration, law and order, right? They want to be a little bit strict, right? As a teacher and a guide also, or even a coach, even a special class teacher, any of those will work. Yeah. Any of those, but you have to give a cow donation on a moon when Moon is in Pushya Nakshatra day, thinking of Lord Krishna. Yeah, that is the most important thing. Lot of the karma associated with the Pushya Nakshatra will vanish. Yeah, but you also have to know the art of balancing work and life. That is important. That is important. Yeah, like your home needs attention, just not your work. That is the most important thing. Okay, and as I said, female cow and a female calf. Yeah, on a Pushya Nakshatra day. Luck will change for you exactly at 29 and 45. 29 and 45. Yeah, luck will change. All right. I think the rest I've said in part 1 already. You can watch part 1. All the information will be there. I hope this was helpful. Right? Om Brihaspatiye Namaha. Om Somaya Namaha. Om Taraya Namaha. Om Kachaya Namaha. Om Budaya Namaha. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, and I'll see you soon in another video.